a lot of gaming news, and it's hard to keep track of it all, but we're going to go through all of June's schedule and kind of let you know what's going on there from Summer of Gaming by IGN and Summer Game Fest. I really miss E3, and I think everybody else here does too. And we're gonna talk about that as well. But at least we have EA Play, right, guys? So EA Play is scheduled for June 11th of next week, and we have some reasonable expectation as well as some bold predictions. And then later, we're gonna answer the first ever Game Night fan write-in. Has a question for us. It's a cool question. What video game world would we want to live in if we could? But if we died in that world, we died in for reals. So
that's deep.
It's going to get deep. Without further ado, this is Game Night.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's right. We noticed that super sweet introduction there. We're getting better with our production quality. Yeah, presented by, I guess it is technically true to say we're presented by Stage 10 TV. We're just not at any affiliation like getting paid or sponsored by them, but we are literally being presented by them, Stage 10 TV, stage10.tv. You can do all your podcast services there. I'm going to send this to them and see if we can get it monetized.
Do it.
It's really cool. It's got a lot of good production quality, guys. But first, let's get some introductions. Joined with me I'm Daniel Hofflich. Thank you. Joined with me in the party chat tonight is Pater Kiernan and Stephen Russell. Pater, what's up, man? How you doing today? What you playing?
I'm doing good, Daniel. Thank you. I am just playing a bit of The Last of Us Remastered. Just getting a few of those online trophy, which is crushing my soul. Yeah, getting that platinum.
Going for the platinum. Oh God, nice.
Yeah, I did it on the PS3 back in the day, and I said never again, but here I am.
That means you have to beat it on grounded mode. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's not for you don't need to for the platinum, but if you want to get 100%. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not a trophy to beat it on grounded.
No. Survivor is still the top one, but want to get that 100%. And I'm playing.
He's a real go-getter.
The go-getter?
Oh yeah, I have to. It's OCD trophies. I played a small game called Final Fantasy X. Don't know if you've heard of it.
Ooh, yes, of course we have, Pater.
Tell me about that. Is it part of Final Fantasy franchise?
Yeah,
I think it's like a sequel to 9.
Yeah, it's technically X. So I mean, it's a sequel.
We'll have people. They're not sequels.
You have to play 1 through 9 to understand it.
Yeah,
you really do.
Up to that. Well, I'm not too far on that now. I'm only at Luca doing the Blitzball tournament, so I'm really not that far. But
is this your first time playing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome! What? So it's not bad so far. I love the turn-based combat in that game. I thought it was really cool to be able to swap out your characters.
Yeah, I tried playing Blitzball. I'm terrible.
I have
no idea what's going on.
It was better back then, back in 2002 or whenever the game came out. I think it was 2002, but it was better back then. Now it's just like this is not very fun.
Hasn't aged well.
No. That's cool, dude. I can't believe that this is every Friday I want to get your thoughts on your playing Final Fantasy X. So you're just kind of getting into it. Yeah. Steven, what's up, man? What you been playing?
What's up? I actually been playing Last of Us between moving and all that fun stuff, but I've gotten some Last of Us in. Actually restarted Assassin's Creed Rogue. I never finished it, but it kind of gives me it just gives me those old school Assassin's Creed combat vibes. Like I kind of miss that in a way, but I do kind of see why they change it up a bit, just because it's the same stuff for the past 5 games at that point. So try to introduce something new into the Assassin's Creed universe. but I wish some of the stuff would come back, like the countering. I don't know, just the countering and the combo moves and stuff were just awesome to me in those type of games. But
yeah,
old Shay.
Hey, dude.
I cannot stand his accent. Shay Cormac's Assassin's Creed.
I thought you would love that shit.
That's not a proper Irish accent.
That's not proper.
It's like, oh, Achilles, what are you doing? You just go way OTT with the accents. Like,
That's actually the only Assassin's Creed that I have not played. So kind of interested to see I was interested to see what you thought about it, Steven. So that's cool. I think the old school combat for Assassin's Creed will always be my favorite. I loved it. Of course, Odyssey and Origins kind of brought it to I wouldn't say Dark Souls, but like they kind of brought it to that kind of.
They added a little bit more strategy to it.
Yeah. I just liked. Go ahead.
I just like the countering, and then when the counter moves come.
Yeah. Dude, Syndicate, man. I said that in the text message to you earlier, but like Syndicate was like the pinnacle of Assassin's Creed combat for me. Just being able to chain together all of the like break.
Dude, I love that game.
How much is Rogue like Black Flag?
It's a lot of similarities. The pirating part is not the pirating part, but like the ship mechanics are basically the same.
Okay.
Like it's quite a bit still based on having your ship and upgrading your ship. So I mean that aspect of it is pretty much on point. You're just not a pirate.
Is it an essential Assassin's Creed game, you would say, or is it just kind of like you can skip it?
You can skip it. It's kind of like its own spin-off, I think. Like, I mean, it ties into the universe. No, I have actually never finished it.
Okay, so without spoilers here, the ending I think links up to 2 Assassin's Creed games. So
well, I know they talk about Connor in it, and like they mentioned what's the dude from Black Flag? What the hell's that guy's name?
Kenway.
Yeah, they mentioned Kenway.
Edward,
they kind of hint at other games in this one as well. And there's even like there was a little like teaser for Unity in the beginning of the game, like when you're doing the stuff around the office.
Oh wow!
There was a thing where they were talking about, and it was Arno from Unity. I was like, that's
cool.
kind of neat.
That came out the same week, I think, as Unity back a few years back.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was the
PS4.
Right.
All right, cool. I've been playing. I just finished Last of Us. I didn't try going for platinum on this one, but I just went ahead and finished it just to get the story again. And that ending still sticks. Still such a good ending. This is the first time that my wife watched me play it, so that was really cool to kind of like see her reactions to it. So, but yeah, the ending of that game still sticks. When I was playing it, I think at the beginning when I was playing it, I was like, man, the gameplay is kind of a little clunky at times, and you're just kind of like, man, this is an old game. This is PS3 era third person action, and I was just kind of like, this is the game that in my mind I considered game of the decade. You know what I mean? And then I was like, but as I'm playing it, I'm like, did I mess up? Like, is this game of the decade? And then, you know what I mean? And I was like, because there's God of War, which is right up there in my opinion. But like with Last of Us, I was like, is this game of the decade really? And yeah, once I got to, I don't know, once I got like halfway in, I was like, all right, I'm in it. The story is great. The cutscenes are great. Everything like is executed perfectly. The voice acting, and then just that ending is just, and like it just does such a great job of making you feel, which I love that. Yeah. This time around when the giraffes were walking across the field, I was like, it really kind of like, I was like, I get it now. I get why those giraffes are in the story. It's just such a pivotal moment. And then the ending was just still phenomenal. Still makes you think. And like I always thought like that's where they were going to end it. I thought that was a one and done game, and it would be left to interpretation for the remainder of whatever eternity. But yeah, the second one's coming out in only a couple weeks, so we get to see where it goes. I'm excited.
Well, I always said if they come out with a second one, the town they're in is just basically going to get overran, and Joel or Ellie is going to have to go out and find another place to survive at. That's what I always thought was good if they did a sequel, like because that's kind of typical zombie apocalypse type.
Yeah, you got your typical zombie Walking Dead style.
But with Last of but with Last of It, it's all about the connection with the people you interact with and you meet, and just the overarching story that's not just about being in a zombie apocalypse. That kind of adds to the game itself. Yeah. But I just got to the Hydro Dam and met up with Tommy, so that's where I'm at.
That's cool. Yeah, that was a good moment too. I can like based off the trailers and everything like that they've shown about Last of Us 2, it does seem that way. Like I think it was even Tommy that said, "Well, you'll put Jackson at risk if you leave or something like that." And it almost seems like they are going for that's the every safe haven is not safe in a zombie apocalypse type thing. But I'm more interested in when Joel, like when Ellie finds out, or if Ellie already knows and was just kind of like, because when I watched that ending again, I almost kind of picked up on like subtleness of it, where Ellie was like, okay, like as it almost as if like I don't believe you, and I didn't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't catch that at first. That the first time around, I was just like, oh my god, Joel.
Yeah, the fact that she has to ask him again, and just like, tell me this is what happened, and he just pauses. It's like,
I sort of remember the ending. Like, it's just been so long at this point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, it's not spoilers.
I mean, I've beat it before. So, it's not a spoiler.
Right.
Did you play the Left Behind DLC on your playthrough?
I
did not, and I'm going to be playing that. Maybe starting it tonight or whatever, but I am going to play the Left Behind. I think I know what happens, but I am excited to like actually sit down and play it.
So you haven't played it before?
No, this is going to be my first time playing Left Behind. Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I replayed it there on my playthrough, and I think it adds more to Ellie as a character, knowing that there's a sequel. Because when you play it back then, when the game came out, I don't think you get a good perspective on certain things. But now I think it really does add to Ellie's character since the second one's coming out, so that's pretty cool.
Okay, all right, yeah, definitely. I'm excited to play it. I've heard some stuff about it, and it's like I've heard actually the gameplay's better. That's what I heard. It almost plays better, so that's interesting. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to our main topics here. Bring up my notes. Today, we're going to, like I said at the beginning of the show, we're talking about how much we miss E3 right there. And with all this stuff going on with Summer Game Fest and Summer of Gaming, and each one of those umbrellas has a ton of different content within those, and it's just kind of like it's so hard to keep track of.
The gaming Summer of Gaming event that's for games.
Yeah, that's for game. Did I mention it was for games?
There might be some games.
All right. Well, this just in, because I have it in my notes that IGN Expo was moved to June 8th, which is not true anymore. Peter, fill us in on that one.
Yeah, so they've just before we went live here, they've just completely did out a new schedule. So it looks like June 11th is the first day with their charity stream. I'm not going to go through everything because there's an extraordinary amount of stuff. So June 11th it kicks off. June 12th looks like a big day. They have a lot of traders going on.
I saw there's a bunch of unannounced stuff like that hasn't been announced yet, so that means it's world premiere.
World premiere.
Yeah, so they got a lot of stuff. I think June 15th, my birthday. Woo, there's a lot of gameplay being shown, and some more trailers.
Happy gameplay day, Peter.
Yeah, and the biggest one for June 15th is the Mafia Definitive Edition. The first Mafia game is being
Ooh,
shown.
they're gonna show the remade.
Yeah, showing gameplay for that. So that's gonna be pretty
Hmm.
cool. And they have a lot of stuff here.
So
Destroy all the
like
humans.
uh
A lot.
when we talked about this a few, or I guess it was last week, I think me and Steven talked about it, the upcoming schedule for June, and we made a few predictions on the unannounced games that are going to be on June 10th. So we have a unannounced classic revival. It's by Merge Games, and pretty
Oh,
much all of these games that we went through, where I said yeah, Merge Games, Funcom, The Outsiders, or whatever, and then even now it has a new information for Fabraz and Arcade One Up. So I think what
Oh, those are those little boxes.
yeah, yeah. June
The
11th.
arcade one up is those boxes, the
okay.
little arcade boxes.
Yeah, and I think what's important about those is that I don't think we're going to get like big AAA like huge
No,
announcements, and
no,
I
no,
think
no,
that kind
no.
this is I think we all want to like manage our expectations here for this one, which I think is it's kind of silly because like this is the first day of your IGN Expo. I feel like you would want to make
Yeah.
a big splash, but um, yeah, it looks like they're all going to be indie announcements. Which hey, nothing against that, but it's still not the E3 replacement. You know what I mean?
No, I
Um,
think like for the IGN coverage, I think June 15th and June 25th are probably their two biggest days. Um,
How many days is this? I didn't even
yeah,
see how
man.
many days
well,
it
let's
It's
was.
like going pretty much all week.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll bring it down real quick for you guys listening. June 10th is the beginning of it. It's going to be a the IGN Expo kicks off actually on June 10th. That's
okay.
going to be the exclusive reveals, trailers, gameplay demos, developer interviews, and hands-on stuff. We'll have some trailers for games that we know about, gameplay for a bunch of games that we know about. Nothing really groundbreaking here except for those 4 unannounced games, which, like I said earlier, they're probably going to be all indie games. June 11th is the IGN Expo 2, the day 2 of the IGN Expo. Now, that one has another unannounced games from Merge Games and then an unannounced game reveal without a developer mentioned. It's just unannounced game reveal. So that one could be a big one.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, some more exclusive reveals, trailers, gameplay demos, and developer interviews. It doesn't look like there's anything that stands out for me. June 12th. So we have 10, 11, 12, all going to be IGN Expo. This is going to be day 3 of IGN Expo. Doesn't look like there's any unannounced game reveals here. Nope.
Nope.
All good here. And then got some gameplay. Uh, yeah, and then June 13th is the PC Gaming Show and the Guerrilla Collective. So 13th, 14th, and 15th is the Guerrilla Collective showcase. I believe that's all like indie games coming together or indie game developers coming together to showcase their games.
Yeah.
Um, and then IGN Expo 4 is also on June 15th. This is what Peter was talking about. An unannounced game reveal. No,
Later.
yeah, Peter. No developer mentioned here. Unannounced game reveal. That's it for June 15th. And then we go June 16th. Looks like a VR showcase. June 18th. Nothing too special going on there. Just some more IGN trailers, gameplay for things. Oh wait, here we go. Gameplay for unannounced developer interview and exclusive gameplay deep dive. So we don't know what that is, but that could be important. So mark your
Cool, cool,
calendars for
cool.
June 18th.
All we know is a deep dive.
Wait a second. And then according to this is news to me. EA Play has been postponed to June 18th. I don't know. I don't know if that's news to you guys, but that's news to me. They were
I think
scheduled for
I
June
didn't see
11th.
I
that.
did see that.
Okay.
Maybe they worked out something with IGN because they didn't want to, go
Yeah,
against
sorry.
each
So
other.
June 16th is the Steam Summer Game Festival. June 18th is EA Play Live.
Mm-hmm.
June 23rd is New Game Plus Expo. June 25th is the Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire. That's when, because that got delayed, so that's showing. New Cyberpunk, I assume. And then there's a few more little things on then.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Play, June 18th.
June 18th. Wow. And that's at 4 p.m. So that changes up a little bit of what I was going to talk about earlier or later. June 24th. Looks like Marvel's Avengers is going to be the big thing. There is a game reveal for June 24th. Okay. June 25th. Looks like they're going to be closing out the IGN Summer of Gaming on June 25th. I think. No, actually, no. It goes into July. But that closes out June with CD Projekt Red's live stream. That is IGN Summer of Gaming in June. Now, Summer Game Fest in June, you have, I'm not going to mention off some of these, World of Warcraft, Destiny 2. Let's go with, see, they haven't updated theirs because theirs is still saying June 11th for EA Play. There it goes. I just refreshed. Wow, that just happened. Future Game Show is June 13th. And that is a digital showcase from Games Radar, so that could be interesting. Okay. That's their, I guess, their summer of gaming. So, so you got Future Game Show, June 13th at 4:30 p.m. And then you have the Steam Game Festival on June 16th. Let's see, we've already said that one. The Developer Showcase in June. This is on Summer Game Fest, June 22nd. Day of the Devs is what it is, and it looks like it's going to be Kaylee's big thing. Tune in for a look at upcoming independent and larger scale projects. So June 22nd, you want to mark that on your calendars. June 23rd is New Game Plus Expo. These companies will have Sega, Atlas, and more. Or this event will have Sega, Atlas, and more. You got, that's okay. That wraps it up for June. Yeah. Whew. So
this is why E3 is just so much easier from a fan point of view.
Yeah, from a fan point of view, of course. I mean, with the current state of the world, a lot of this stuff is getting postponed, and it makes the scheduling a lot more convoluted than it was already going to be. So I think so that kind of like has an impact on how this is all coming at us, but I still think we would be going through all these dates. Like from all that I listed, that is a lot of showcases, and it's all really hard to keep up with. And then especially when you have IGN, even though they are being transparent about like, hey, here's the developer showing their game, it's kind of like, for me, I just feel like indie developers benefit way more when they're coupled with these larger scale things. Like when you have the Microsoft press conference, they can show their little indie segment, and people are watching it because they're glued to their television because of that. But with IGN Expo, it's kind of like, if I'll just catch the YouTube vid, or something like that. And it kind of like almost, they're going to be overlooked in a way. So that's one reason right there.
And be like,
what's up?
When you like mix it in with other big announcement, it does draw more attention to it. Like a game like, say, Minecraft Dungeons, for instance. I probably wouldn't have cared about it if it was announced on its own, but when they sprinkled it into E3 last year, like it got like I was like paying attention because it was there in my face, and I saw it because I was already watching the broadcast, or we were there, but
right, yeah, like you're tuned in, and then of course there's that game that I don't really know the name, so I guess it wasn't that effective. I don't know, but I don't know the name, but I do remember the game where it was like top down. And like the cops were coming in, and like it almost like rewound a bunch of times, rewound.
Oh,
I don't know. I've heard a bunch of it.
Oh my god, what was that game?
You know what I'm saying? Like it kept rewinding the same day or something like that. I can't remember what game.
Was that the one shown at E3? Was it?
It was shown at E3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're about. Yeah,
That was a game that I was like, it piqued my interest, and I was just because I was sitting there watching it.
yeah.
And then of course that game that we haven't seen in a long time. It was like God, I feel like it was like Last Night or something like that. It was like that really cool pixel art side-scrolling game.
And it repeats. Is it? It repeats the days or something. And there's
Yeah,
the
the one where you talk about the top down one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one repeats the same scenario over and over again or something
yeah,
like that. It looked really interesting.
It did, yeah.
Can't think of the name of it though.
I actually forgot about that until now.
Yeah, if you're watching it, watching this, comment and let me know what the game is. But yeah, there's a bunch of indie games.
I can't remember to save my life.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of indie games that when I see them, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I saw that on E3. Let me just check that out. But everything's just way. It's just way hard. It's just hard to keep track of. It literally took me about 15 minutes to go through all of the stuff that's about to happen, and it's just, how are you going to keep that on my on my calendar? It's just a bunch of dots on my Google Calendar. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't,
I think it really depends on what, obviously, what kind of games you're into and all that. But I think as a viewer, who's your go-to personality for that?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine a lot of people will probably tune into Jeff Keighley's thing over IGN's. I probably will, because
Jeff Keighley at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, so I imagine pretty much everything that IGN, or most of the IGN, is covering, Jeff will probably cover the major parts of it that you'd want to see anyway. So comes back around to then, well, yeah, I could just catch the indie stuff on whenever. But the flip side, I think Greg Miller, Kind of Funny, is doing that Gorilla Showcase. I think he's a part of that.
I feel like he is a part of that. I'm not like 100% confident. Yeah.
So Kind of Funny are kind of good at getting a lot of eyes on the indie stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of do something each year, so
I watch it.
That's going to gain a big audience for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But with the IGN thing, it is a bit messy. Everyone is battling for a bit of time and the viewership, and it's just it's a bit messy.
when we talked about when we were talking about EA getting pushed back to June 18th now, I had thought in my mind, like, I was like, oh, okay, so EA Play was June 11th. It's not anymore. It's June 18th. But I was like, okay, so there's that. I think PlayStation is going to want to get ahead of all of this. And now that, and I think it's also kind of part of the reason why IGN's pushing it back to June 11th. I think they're making way for PlayStation. Maybe they've already talked to them, but I think PlayStation wants to get June 9th. I think that's the Thursday coming up next week.
Yeah.
I think PlayStation's going to want to get June 9th, and I think we'll hear an announcement about that soon. I think they're going to want to get ahead of all the other stuff. They want to be the first ones to kick all this stuff off, I think. And especially when EA Play comes around the corner and they want to talk about their PS5 games. They want to have the system's got to be shown, and they, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the major thing there. They probably want to get ahead of exactly the EA.
So you're saying they're...
Wait, Steven, you cut out?
So you're saying they're going to show the system?
Okay,
that's what you said.
Let me backpedal. I'll backpedal.
Was that in your previous prediction episode?
Let me backpedal on that. They're not going to show the system. I want to be clear on that prediction. Nah, we're just getting games. I don't know. They're
showing it. They're showing it.
That's just the pessimist in me. I think they're not going to show it just because I'm like, it's.
They cannot let that console image leak before they show it.
That's
the manufacturer.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Can't risk it.
That's the only thing hurting them from delaying it like this. Is just like there is a possibility that somebody's going to leak this. For goodness sake, freaking Xbox! Somebody took a picture of the back of the console and put it on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, they did too.
Yeah. So I mean, the more you wait, the more chances you have of the console getting leaked. I really do think they have to show the console. We've talked about this. I think they have to, but I kind of still think they're not going to. I think it's just going to be the games showcase for them, and then next month they'll show the console. But so E3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
this is it. R.I.P. Yo.
R.I.P. See, that's the thing though. Like, I want to talk about that too. But the reasons why I miss E3. First of all, it was all in 1 week. So that way, like I said to you guys just now, we spent all this time going through the entire month, and that's just June. There's still July and August. July for IGN. I don't know if they're going all the way to August, but yeah, Summer Game Fest is going to August, and that's just June that I just crammed into June. You know what I mean? All that information. July seems to be the big month. This time around, because that's where Xbox is going to be doing their first party stuff. I think Ubisoft is in July. So it's just so weird. And I guess a lot of this was coronavirus and all that other stuff. So like that pushed it across these months as well. But all in 1 week, man. It was like Christmas for gamers. So you sit down and you know what you're getting from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You know exactly what you're watching. You know what I mean? Like this is it. I'm going to absorb all of this. And it's going to be
this press conference.
Like you literally have
it was so much simpler.
Exactly. Yeah. You have it all in one place. The other thing is the recognition. I already said that recognition for both big and small games. Another one for me is the I guess the physical presence of E3. I think is so important, and I think it's going to start to fizzle out, unfortunately. But the physical presence of it, like having people in the audience or the auditorium to react to what's happening, I think that really adds to the hype of it. The building of the Los Angeles Convention Center is iconic for gaming. And then just being able to get hands-on the games if you're there, if you're lucky enough to get hands-on, I think that's super important. But if you're watching it at home, you get to see somebody else playing it, like walking across that show floor and seeing the energy, the excitement. It just I think people watching at home feeds off of that way more than you can on a digital event. And yeah,
well, if you look at it too, like the area around the convention center was completely changed. It was games plastered everywhere. It was just so cool walking down the street, just seeing like a big ass Doom Eternal poster on the side of a building.
Exactly.
Or you walk up to the convention center, there's Cyberpunk on the front of it. There's just all these other games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare was on it too. Just like, it was just awesome just to take it all in, especially when you first walk up to it and you're like, holy shit, this is where we've been trying to get for years, and we got there.
Yeah, that was just, for me, I was looking back on it and at dinner, and I was telling my wife about it. I was just like, what a week. Just what a week. Right. It was June 8th of last year that we were flying out, and we got to see EA Play first, and then EA Play Saturday. Sunday was the Microsoft press conference and Fan Fest for us, and then right after that was Bethesda. No, was Bethesda? No,
Bethesda. Yeah,
they were before.
It was Bethesda.
Right? No, it was Bethesda right after, because we got out of press conference and booked it to Bethesda.
Yeah. We took an Uber.
Yeah, exactly. And then we just like, it all went around. We all chipped in. But I think it was you that paid. No, was it you that paid for the freaking SUV? I don't even know.
That was Greg.
That was Greg.
Oh, Greg
pulled up, and I'm like, this is not our typical driver here. What's going on?
Get us there ASAP.
Yeah, exactly. So that was awesome. And then Monday, that was Ubisoft for me. I got to go to the Ubisoft fan event thing. That was just so cool. Tuesday, and then Monday I went to the actual building to pick up our passes. That was the surreal moment for me. They let me in early too, because I was like, hey, can you let me in? I just asked. I was like, look, This has been a dream of mine. I just want to walk in and just see the lobby. And they let me see the lobby. And I was like, and then I saw this big sign that said Final Fantasy VII Remake booth this right here. And they pointed. I said, I know where I'm going tomorrow. The Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were all the expo. And it was just amazing. Unfortunately, it was probably like in hindsight, it was probably like the worst E3 at Expo ever. Like it was so empty.
A lot of people saying that.
It was super empty. But I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake was there, and I got to be the first to play it, so worth it. But yeah, so I mean, just that, the memories talking about it. I could tell you about E3s from years ago, just because it's just such a big event. And now with the summer of gaming and this whole summer of gaming thing, I don't think it's going to be as memorable. And it's just kind of like, I don't know.
It's because it drags out so long. Like
it does.
Yeah. If they condensed it down to maybe even 2 weeks to try to, I don't know. It's just too long. I mean, it's kind of, I guess the cool aspect of it is you're getting like game news like every day for like 2 months or whatever they're doing,
and people like us doing podcasts, we will have a lot to talk about for the rest of summer.
But yeah, like ideally, I think I hope E3 will be back next year, but who knows? But what I think they should have done this summer is, like Steven said, condense a lot down, even have it on like 3 weekends in a row. Just have the Saturday and Sunday just stacked for their different different game reveals, interviews, and all that. I think that would have been a lot better. I think how it's just so staggered and stretches. I think E3 is just, you have everything in the space of 5 days. You have the conferences, then you have the show floor, and it just builds the hype up, just builds the excitement, and all those, we were lucky enough to be there last year when Keanu Reeves just walked out on stage at Xbox. They're just like, what? like you're not going to get that this summer with anything that they're going to show. It might be, a surprise game that you're just like, oh, nice.
Yeah,
but,
and like
you
even
have the audience.
Yeah, it's the audience that they feed off of,
Yeah.
and like even if you do have like a guest appearance like Keanu Reeves on the digital event, it's not going to have that impact because you don't have somebody in the audience saying, "No, you're breathtaking." That's not you're not going to make that moment with a digital event. So yeah, I think it's all about the moments. And then that brings me to the next topic of the future of E3. We do know that E3 is coming back for 2021. I mean, it was confirmed. Like they said, we'll see you in 2021. Yeah. Now there was a lot of talk about E3 going to this more of a fan experience type thing, and I think for me, I think that's where they're going to go. I think it's going to be like the Comic-Con of gaming, which is not a bad thing by any means, but I think you're going to end up getting panels. You're going to get like just where developer panels where they just come out and talk. I think Microsoft will probably carry on the press conference tradition a little longer than everybody else. I think EA is going to be this is it. They're like, EA Play Live. It worked out for us. We don't need to do the whole Sunset Boulevard or whatever it was thing. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think they'll just set up at the convention center again. They'll bring it back to the convention center. And Bethesda will probably do the same thing. I don't think they're going to carry on with the press conferences. They might do it again next year, but it's just going to start to fizzle out. These press conferences are expensive.
I think for Bethesda, it might be what they have to talk about. Like, because they do got some big games on the horizon. It's just a matter of, are they going to be like, I hate when they announce a game and it's not coming out for 3 years down the road. It's stupid.
Right.
Like, announce games that are going to come out before the next E3, because that's what I'm like kind of looking forward to. I know delays happen and stuff. Some of that stuff's like out of the control of the developer because things happen. But generally, I want games announced at E3 that are coming out in the next year. Not
like like they started actually so well, Bethesda, on their first E3 conference. They announced Fallout 4, and then Fallout 4 was out 6 months later, slightly less.
Oh yeah, the first press conference that
Yeah,
Bethesda did. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
and
So
it's
the
like
second one was good too. Like it was just
it's
they
like
were.
that was really good. And then like that, you look at the last press conference we're at. It was cool to be there. You know, the after party was probably the best part.
Open
Yeah,
bar.
Yeah, the open
yeah.
bars. Like they probably could have got away with not doing a press conference and then kind of
Yeah.
announcing. Was it last year or Starfield? They announced they showed a glimpse of it or something.
I think that was the
Was
year
it last year?
before. I think it
Year
was the year
before?
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the year before. Yeah, and that's what Steven's talking about. Like that game ain't coming out for
They even
minimum
said that
3 years.
they even came out and
More.
said that this year like don't expect to see Starfield and
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6. They just said it right out. Like don't expect to see it. But I don't know. We'll probably see some Ghostwire, or is it Ghostwire? I think it was called.
Ghostwire Tokyo or something like that.
Yeah, we'll probably see
Oh
some of
yeah.
that. Like Bethesda, I don't. I think they probably they probably lucked out on this year. I don't know. Maybe they have something really cool to show us, but they probably lucked out on this year not
Yeah,
having a
I think
big
it worked out for them.
Yeah.
Not having to
Well,
go
as
this
long
year.
as they're
Yeah.
not talking about Fallout 76 DLC.
Hey guys, we're still trying to keep this thing going. Please come back.
Please come.
So yeah, I mean that's like you got that, but I think Bethesda is going to start to fizzle out as well. And yeah, I mean we're just gonna see these press conferences go away. But I think Microsoft, since they just kind of have their own theater, they don't need to buy time slots. I mean they own it, so they can do these kind of things. But it is the production quality that they have to put into it. Like they put a lot of production in it, lights, backstage, setting up cool themed areas, the Mixer Dome. I do think the Mixer Dome was a precursor to what we're going to see in future E3s. Like you're going to have the convention center, but I think it's going to be a lot more amusement park attractions type thing. I don't, not like roller
That
coaster or anything
sounds
like that, but
horrible.
like you'll see. Yeah, I think you're going to
It
see
sounds
like
horrible.
more Mixer Dome, which was like this big inflatable tent. It looked like it was like
Yeah.
an inflatable tent. You get to walk in there, and they had this really cool theme stuff going on. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was cool. They had Apex monitors set up everywhere. You get to play Apex. If you win a Xbox One X or something like that. That was pretty legit. But yeah, I mean, I think we're going to end up seeing more things like that. And like I said, I think EA is just going to bring it back in house. The convention center is just going to turn into, instead of a trade show, I think we're going to see it turn into just a fan-driven event. We'll see more streamers, personalities, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think for me and for all of us, I think for E3 to keep going, I think they have to have the conferences just like right beside the show floor, as in the dates. Because like, for me, that really makes E3 is, especially if you're not going to E3, it's the conferences, and then you have the hype of people going in to and play the games.
Yeah,
But
because
for me,
the Bethesda one was like what 10 minutes away, maybe from the Coliseum.
yeah, about that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah. So is E3 necessary anymore, guys, or do you think E3 is going to come back next year and they're going to just kind of dissolve into Summer Game Fest?
As an E3 fanboy, I want to say yes, but I think depending on how this digital setup goes for the next couple months, that's going to be the kind of telltale sign. The thing with social media and the availability to kind of broadcast whenever you want now versus back when it was just E3 is where you had to get your game out. Like they have such a bigger platform that they don't necessarily need E3 like they used to, because I mean, you could pretty much go on social media, record a video, and say, "All right, this is coming out. Show some gameplay, make a post on Twitter or whatever like that," and the word will get out pretty quickly.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
I think the
said.
name E3 still means something at the moment,
Mhm.
but they need to rapidly get with the times. And what my concern with for this E3, if it was going to happen, is how Jeff Keighley kind of bailed out because what they proposed to him, he did not like at all.
He didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I've been watching E3 since I've done it a year now, but when Jeff Keighley was on Spike and he was doing E3 coverage back then, so I think E3, the guys there, they have to get the people back in. You have to get your EAs back in. Yeah, I don't think they'll get Sony back in now at this stage. No. Microsoft is still there. Ubisoft, I think, will still do it. But
I think Phil Spencer loves the idea of E3, and that's why he's a big pusher for it. Like, he likes the press conferences, and he said he stated that he's like, I love like that E3. Like, I love the whole energy. E3 event. Yeah, and it's just awesome when you get all these people together that have a love for gaming. It's just, I mean, it's always just like you're in shock most of the time because everybody there is a gamer, and you look to the left, look to the right, there's a gamer. I mean, you might have your not real gamers. Like, I guess I don't really consider nobody not a real gamer. If you're playing games, you're a gamer, but but it's just cool seeing everybody come together for the love of just the games industry.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Like, that's it. It's just such a big celebration of gaming, and I almost kind of feel like it's going to kind of become this Comic-Con thing, which is, like I said, I mean, it's not a bad thing necessarily. I just don't think we're going to get that big spectacle that we've been getting. I think they are going to start moving to this, hey, when your game is ready to be announced, just let us know. Let Kaylee know, and Kaylee will find a time slot for you. You know, type thing. Yeah. But that's where we see the future of E3. But let's talk about this year and the one the first one carrying on the torch here, EA Play. EA Play predictions. Let's go with that, guys. Now I'm going to list off my predictions for you guys, and you go ahead and let me know what you think. How's that sound?
Yeah, still.
All right, EA Play. We're gonna start from the bottom because I got my number, like my big bold prediction right at the top. Now, ooh, snap. All right, so I found this link here, and it led me. This was off of Gamatsu.com.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this link. What do you say? Gamatsu?
Yeah, we'll call it that.
We'll call it.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
They posted this. I guess is a quarterly meeting, or a report from EA.
The investment call or something like that.
Yeah. Well, they posted the whole report from EA, and at the let's see right here, it says that these are the publicly announced titles represented above. Of course, Burnout Paradise Remastered and Command & Conquer Remastered. That was quarter one. That's probably already out.
That's out,
yeah. Quarter two, FIFA 21, Madden NFL 21. Quarter three, NHL 21. So these are games that we know we're going to see at EA Play. Guaranteed. But here's where it gets interesting. So we expect to announce additional titles in fiscal year 21 over the coming months, including an unannounced EA Sports title, an additional EA HD title, 4 EA partner titles, and 2 mobile soft launches. So when it comes to the additional, the unannounced EA Sports title, I think that's going to be UFC 4. I think they're due.
I'm going with college football.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going.
Not bad choice. Well,
sadly,
are they allowed to
NFL has agreed to extend their Madden partnership, which is very irritating. Yeah. I got so excited about the fact that there was going to be a new NFL 2K game.
Same.
Like, it just shows that EA just doesn't want any competition in that ring.
Oh no, but the other end of it, NFL, NFL is still keeping this exclusivity. It's really NFL that could have made the decision and just been like, okay, let's see what happens if we open this up. Just like Disney comes up with, when it comes up to Disney and EA, I hope that they just say, you know what, we don't need EA to do exclusive games. Let's spread this out. Let's let other developers like, I don't know, Naughty Dog, Insomniac, like let's let these other developers develop a really good Star Wars game. I mean, they did extremely well on Star Wars Jedi. Game Night's Game of the Year last year. But I mean, that's just Respawn because they're just freaking excellent. All right, so and then we got in addition to our unannounced fiscal year 21 titles, we will see platform expansions on our current EA titles, plus the release of our previously announced Medal of Honor VR title for the Oculus. So there's the Oculus VR. We're going to see Medal of Honor, I'm sure. We'll see that at EA Play as well.
Now, due a new Medal of Honor FPS, you imagine, wouldn't you? On the new console, new gens.
That'd be so good, dude.
Yeah, I think it's long overdue for that.
I just think they're just going to focus on Battlefield 6. But we'll get to that. Mass Effect Remaster Trilogy is one of my predictions. And then the fact that report said an unannounced EA HD title kind of makes me think.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
Kind of makes me think they're going to do a remaster of Mass Effect.
Yeah, most requested, I imagine.
Or Dead Space. But I think, that's where I think it's going to be an either or thing. But because I honestly, I'm a little.
There was 3 Dead Spaces, right?
3 Dead Spaces. Yeah. I can see a remaster of Dead Space trilogy all in one bundle. I can see that, but when it comes to Mass Effect, those games are just so massive. Like they're just huge games, and if you're going to remaster, you can't remaster the whole trilogy. I don't think that's going to be a thing. You can't just remaster the whole trilogy and sell it as a bundle. That's a huge bundle. Like that's a lot of games.
Yeah, I
that's
think
not
the
very
Dead
EA.
Space one would be the easiest one to do because Dead Space skipped the current gen completely.
Yeah.
So they probably could just up it 4K, fix the frames. Bundle it all together for a decent price.
Well,
they'll probably get away with that.
The funny thing about that is like you have to, if you're going to do it, you have to like basically build it from the ground up nowadays, because especially with the Series X already making the statement like, hey, your old games are going to run better. They're going to be 4K. They're going to be better frame rates and stuff like that. So it's basically remastering all of your games with no additional work from the developers. That's super exciting. So yeah, I mean, you kind of like think about it. You're like, well, I mean, you can't just pretty it up. At this point, you kind of have to. You kind of have to.
I just don't see. Well, it depends who actually does it for EA. Like, there's Visceral Games. They're gone now, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're gone.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see who would do a Dead Space. I'd go Bluepoint. There you go, Bluepoint. Do your magic.
Bluepoint's had a lot of solid remakes. And
they're unannounced game they're working on as well, which we'll probably see soon. So
I think I read I think it was a tweet or something. I don't have the source. I gotta start sourcing these things.
Amateur.
I know, right? What are we doing? I act like this is my 8th podcast or something. So I read that Bluepoint, or not Bluepoint, I'm sorry, but Blood-Borne is getting a PS5 remaster or remake or whatever, and it's in good hands, like from a really good, respectable developer. You saw that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be hitting 60 frames per second. 4K.
Yeah, and like he said, and it's from a developer that, based off of their previous work, I have all faith in. And I'm like, Bluepoint. That's all. I think it's going to be a Bluepoint remastering or remaking Blood-Borne for PS5, and I think it'll probably be a launch title. And we'll go, but that's not EA. Let's get back to EA. Anthem.
Yeah, we always do it. We always veer off the path.
That's all right. That's what this is all about. Okay. Anthem update. I think we're going to see that. I think it's going to relaunch. It's going to have like a complete relaunch, and it's going to be on next gen consoles, PS5, Xbox Series X. And I don't think I think we'll just get details. I don't think we're going to actually see what they're
I think they're
talking
a
about.
long way off.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be like, hey, with
off.
the next gen consoles, we're going to improve this. We're going to make the game look like this, or look better.
What was you? They released a statement recently. I think the guy at Anthem, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? You guys need to do what Hello Games did for No Man's Sky. Just disappear and completely rework the game and put it out.
Yeah.
Just don't talk about it again until it's ready to launch.
Yep. I think they'll probably talk about it. Maybe. I don't know.
My youngest just randomly started playing it, and it's actually kind of made me want to start playing again just because watching that was the one thing I love. Like, the combat in that game was so fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you and your buddy are playing and you're hitting the combos and just making like huge ass explosions. The gameplay mechanics were fantastic. The flying around, dude, that was fun.
It really was, man. I think, and then like if they come back to it and they say they come back and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Why not just show the E3 trailer that they showed us and lied to us about? And just say this is what it's going to actually look like now. We're not lying. Yeah. It's going to look like this on next gen.
I mean, it did look. On the One X, it looked really good.
It did. It did look really good.
It's not. But I feel like if they do this whole redo over of the game, like, people who already bought it should not have to buy it again.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, so
I still have it on my hard drive.
Same. I mean, I'm kind of like, I was gonna say I haven't uninstalled it. Like, it's sitting there.
I wanted that game to be so good. Like, it drew me in so quick, but then once you get to the ending point, it's like, all right, so what do I do now? That's the problem with the game. It's like, when you're playing through the story with your friends and stuff like that, that's fun. It's just when you get to the point where you're at the end of the road and right, yeah.
It's worth it if it's on sale. I mean, it's worth picking up, especially, and they should, especially if they're going to be like, hey, if you have the game, free upgrade.
I think it's on that EA Pass thing in the vault. I can't remember the actual proper title, but the EA.
EA Access.
Yeah, Access. Yeah. It's on there now.
Yep, there you go.
I just downloaded.
They got it 3 years after it's been on Microsoft, but
Dragon Age 4, I think, will be there.
Well,
we haven't seen anything from Dragon Age 4 since, I think it was the Game Awards from 2 years ago, I believe, where they just showed like a really quick teaser trailer. So I think we'll see Dragon Age 4.
Me.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is BioWare isn't the same company that it was when it was making these phenomenal games. Like,
it's true.
It's a totally different company. But Andromeda got tons of hate, and some of it is rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I liked about Andromeda was the gameplay. Like, when you're shooting and using your powers, it was really phenomenal. It's just there was a few hiccups with facial animation, stuff like that.
Oh, the hiccup was the story, dude. Like, that was the hiccup, man. Like,
you just don't got the same people working on it that made the original trilogy.
Exactly.
So it's hard to capture that spirit of a game again, especially when it's been so long as to when the last one came out, and you got different people working on it. Like, that makes it hard to capture the spirit of what made Mass Effect so great.
Well, that was 3 BioWare games in a row. I didn't realize it until now. Mass Effect Remaster Trilogy, the Anthem update, and Dragon Age 4. I think if they do Dragon Age 4, they're going to have to, I think a full, like, just Blood-Borne style game, I think would be cool. Like, if they went a different approach to it, they'd be cool. Madden 21, FIFA 21, UFC 4, and NHL 21, I think they're all going to get featured. Which is interesting because they're actually highlighting NHL 21 this year. They never highlight NHL, which is...
No, they don't. They actually left it out of EA Play last year, didn't they?
Yeah, like, that's why I'm like, okay, wait a second. Are they going to be introducing to us a new fully from the ground up new system, I think, for next gen. That would be amazing because that game needs a lot of help. The return.
But you guys buy it every year.
I buy it every year, man. I made a mistake. I love hockey.
I'm the exact same with FIFA.
Right. We just love the sport, man. And then when we play it, we're like, this is not what they do in the real life. Like this is it's got to be embarrassing that like the NHL is actually using that game for the playoffs, like the virtual playoffs, and I'm like, this is just embarrassing. I almost want to watch it to see if it glitches out. Okay, the return of NBA Live, I think, is going to be there with NBA Live 21, and it'll be a next-gen focus game because they skipped last year in NBA Live.
They've done this before where they took a hiatus, came back, still couldn't compete with 2K, and disappeared again.
That's why I think maybe they'll just have this as like, hey, here's the flagship NBA game for next gen. I don't know. Sims 5. I say Sims 5 because it was rumored to be revealed during the PS5 reveal event, but now postponed. But it was supposed to be, June 4th. And on the list of games that was rumored from the PlayStation Magazine leak, Sims 5. So I think Sims 5 will be featured and talked about. I think they're going to do an Apex Season 5 mid-season content. And I think that is going to make Titanfall fans really happy. I think
they're going to add some Titanfall mix.
Either one of the legends will be a pilot, is my prediction. Like maybe they'll introduce a mid-season legend. I don't know. That doesn't. Usually they just wait for the next season, but I think Titanfall is going to start trickling in a little bit even somehow. More.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would like them to show. I don't know if they'll be able to show up at that stage, but kind of give us details on what they're going to do with Apex for the new systems.
Yeah,
and how they're going to upgrade it and what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're going to announce crossplay.
Definitely. That's a good one, man. I bet they do crossplay.
Crossplay.
They've been saying that they've been working on that for a while. That's a good one. Yeah, I say you'll see crossplay, and they might even say it'll be available for season 6. Crossplay, unless if they say, hey, mid-season, season 5 stuff. Here you go. Boom.
Crossplay is now active.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah, they're going to do it like that.
They'll
just download the update, you'll be good to go.
All right.
Yeah, because they do stuff like that, don't they? Like EA, like you see with the Sims, there's like
I will say that's the one thing that's neat about the EA. Yeah, they'll be like, and you can download this now,
right now.
Like, oh shit, let me get on there and do that.
Yeah. I think that's a really good. That's a solid prediction. I think we will.
Microsoft started doing that too, though. Microsoft's, and you could get the demo today.
Nintendo Directs.
That's what I love about the conferences is stuff like that.
Right.
And you can get it right now.
Right now.
Like, oh shit, I can. Awesome.
So season 5 mid-season content coming at us, and I think Titanfall fans will be pleased. And I would like to make a prediction for season 6, since Titanfall is going to be starting trickling in. Well, probably for the mid-season content, we might get like some kind of Easter egg for World's Edge, and World's Edge might get transformed a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. They kind of did something
for the
similar.
Third, I guess for the third.
This is the second time. It might not be that big of a thing, but World's Edge is still the same World's Edge from the end of season 4, and I feel like it just to keep it interesting. And I think it's going to be some kind of Titanfall thing.
Event. They'll do another event.
Yeah, like I think we'll see the Summer of Apex event, Summer of Apex games. We'll probably see that. But yeah, so I think we'll see. We have to see Apex. It's the biggest thing that EA has going for them right now. And then Star Wars Maverick is going to be revealed, and I think it is actually a Rogue Squadron reboot. If it's not a Rogue Squadron reboot, then I think it's going to focus on Poe Dameron, and it'll be a Poe Dameron story. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, I think we're going to see Dameron. Straight up X-wing combat. Let's go. And I think it's going to be Star Wars Maverick is going to be their Star Wars game that they focus on this year. And then my biggest and boldest prediction, Battlefield 6 will be revealed. and I won't believe a single thing it shows me because those CG trailers are the worst. They're a lie.
I'm just desperate for them to make a good Battlefield game again.
It will return to modern. That's where I'm going with. It will return to modern.
Has to, yeah. I just want like Battlefield 4, but better. Like,
don't even give us Battlefield 6. Just give us Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4
just rework Battlefield 4.
Yeah, give us that. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Or they'll do a Battlefield Bad Company.
They need the customizations back in that game. Holy shit.
Can you imagine the Levolution in next gen? Like taking down that big skyscraper in a next gen title? Just give us Battlefield 4. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just give us Battlefield 4. That does it for our EA Play predictions. So we're going to move on to the fan question that we got, guys. This is going to be an interesting one. We won't spend too much time on it. We're already an hour and 5 minutes. So the fan question, guys. If a video game world became your reality, what would it be? And if you died in this world, you died for realsies. You know what I mean?
For realsies.
For realsies, guys. This is a good one because in our private game night chat, you might know him as Robert Pennington, been on the show, and Greg Bagley has been on the show. Both of them brought up some good philosophical points here, guys.
Whoa, that word is too big for the show.
I know, right? Yeah. I had to look it up, rhymezone.com. No, I'm just kidding. No, guys. Robert said that he's trying to find a clever game that he can choose that would keep him alive at all times. Like, you can't die.
I think I have it.
And then...
Like God mode?
Hold on. Yeah, like there's a God mode or something. And then Greg says he would rather have the adventure and outweigh the risk, the danger. He wants to be in a Star Wars game or something like that, or Mass Effect, where it doesn't matter that there's big alien creatures about to wipe out the entire human race. He just wants that adventure. You know what I mean?
Greg, the adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, he just wants that adrenaline. So there it is.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is a really good question. It kind of makes you really think, like, what would it be?
Do you want me to... Okay, go ahead.
My first thought was Assassin's Creed. I was like, no.
That's exactly...
I will die immediately. You know?
Well, wait. Are you talking about Assassin's Creed? You're talking about the world of Assassin's Creed where you could just go into the Animus, right? And you can travel back to any time period that you want, or at least is wherever you're connected to DNA.
Yeah, but you see, you can still die out Animus, or R.I.P. Desmond.
R.I.P. Desmond.
But I think I have the perfect game.
Okay.
It's a bit of a throwback to my childhood. I'm going to go with a Pacific game as well. I'm going to go with Pokemon Yellow. You get the adventure, and I can't die in it. I don't care what happens to my Pokemon. They can die. I'll get a new one.
That's good.
That's actually really good.
It's really good. There was a guy on the Game Night Fans Facebook group, and he said Pokemon as well. Mark Talley. I think not Mark Talley.
I didn't
Miguel.
See that.
Yeah, he said Pokemon as well, and I was like, that's a really good point. And I was like, why? And he was just like, he just kind of said that when he was growing up, he was just kind of like, he always thought, what if they were real?
Oh yeah, same, yeah.
And that's such a good one. Especially, I mean, you can get electrocuted, like full on shock from Pikachu, and you live somehow. I mean, Team Rocket's done.
Yeah, fine, yeah. But you get to go, like, you're a 10-year-old kid in the game, and you get to go around with Pikachu. You catch Pokemon, get badges, and try to be, the best. And you get adventure.
Yeah,
make money, get women.
Yeah, that's what Pokemon's all about, Steven.
And you can't die. That's cool.
That is, yeah. Apparently, you never grow up either.
Yeah.
What about
I probably want to grow up a tiny
Snap?
Bit. You live long enough to see your animation quality just go down the drain. For anybody who still follows Pokemon anime.
Pokemon Snap.
and then your voice changes.
Yeah,
it's
you're
really weird. God, they ruined it. They fucking ruined it.
They ruined it, man. That's good. Pokemon was ever since I saw Miguel write on the fans page, I was like, man, Pokemon might be up there with mine as well. But because you're living in the world, you're not actually the character.
That's the difference is living in the world versus being the character. Now, if you were the character, sign me up for Assassin's Creed all day, every day.
Right. Mm-hmm. You'd have to be an assassin. You know what I mean? So that's like otherwise you're just
have to go.
Somebody he shoves out of the way.
2?
Yeah.
I'd go with 2.
See, I would say like if I'm in an Assassin's Creed, just dream big, guys. I'm the guy, like I have a DNA, I have access to Animus, and I'm just going back to where I want to go. You know what I mean? I'm going like if I'm connected to back in like freaking, I don't even know where I'd want to go, because if you die in the Animus, you don't actually die. I mean, right? You just reset, right?
Yeah, not unless you stay there too long, then you just lose your mind.
Sure. It's like Inception.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's
God. I really am.
It's pretty cool. It's like
Steven's just really contemplating life here.
Let me see if I got any other fan feedback.
Oh, I got one.
What you got, Steven?
Forza Horizon.
Ooh, that's cool.
You get to drive cars all day long and just do stupid shit and never die.
And physics, really, I was gonna say,
you're not dead. Like you could drive off a cliff. Guess what? You respawn in another spot. Like you're good.
That's true. That would be super fun. Get to go to Adrenaline Junkies,
dude. That's mine. That is mine, dude. Forza Horizon all day.
I like that one. That was really cool. That one's really good. Yeah, because you imagine.
You want to drive a Ferrari? You can drive a Ferrari. You want to drive a truck? You can drive a truck.
You want to take it off road? Go. You want to take the Ferrari off road?
That farmer just put up a new fence. Fuck that farmer. I'm gonna run
it. Seasons change every week. Get used to it. Let's go.
Dude, boom. My brain was racking, and that just certainly came out of nowhere.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Will Turner wrote in, and he said, not to be mistaken with Pirates of the Caribbean, because but Will Turner, he wrote in and he said Sea of Thieves, which is interesting because Will Turner is his name.
Will Turner,
God dang it, dude, you did it to yourself.
He's not helping his kids there.
Yeah, he said Sea of Thieves. Yeah. Because he said if you die, you just come back. Like you get on the whole afterlife boat and you wait your turn and come back in.
Oh man, I haven't played Sea of Thieves in a long time.
Endless sailing, he says.
And you get to go pirate hunting. Like you get to be a pirate, go treasure hunting. Like
yeah,
and you get to do it with your friends if your friends play.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you love the sea,
I've never played it.
Dude, So I've played it. If you're playing solo, you're not generally going to have a good time. But if you get other people doing different stuff on the ship while you're either driving,
that sounds cool.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got to have friends.
That's why I really hope. Yeah, you do.
I don't get to play it.
I don't. I uninstalled it because I didn't have any friends. I said, you know what? No one wants to play with me. Screw this game. I'm uninstalling.
Uninstall.
I have the power here.
I'm surprised Robert didn't go for that game, Leisure Suit Larry. The old game. That seems like that type of game.
I'm locking it in.
That's Robert's. There you go, Rob.
Robert was the main character, dude. Oh my god.
That's so Robert.
Man. That's good. I don't really know, man. Like, there's so many game worlds that just stand out to me, and I was like thinking of it. It's just I get caught up in my own head when I think about these things. That I feel like they're legitimate. Like I need to, because you need to get right. That's how I feel. Every time they're at.
I can only assume we're going for the one game that.
See, but like okay, but like I said, you have to be if I'm not the character, if I'm not Cloud Strife, then I don't want to be in Final Fantasy VII because it doesn't seem like the greatest world to live in. You know what I mean? It's kind of falling apart. It's dying.
It got a lot prettier in the remake, so
it did. Yeah. It did. Yeah. It seemed like you were really comfortable up on the top plates until they literally just drop it to just kill 4 people. You know, that's cool. It's whatever. Just as long as I don't live there in that sector, I'll be okay.
Oh yeah, you have to be up high, one of the snobs.
Yeah, I'm right up there with Shinra's. You know, I'm in there. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a fun one.
You have to pick one.
I gotta pick one.
You gotta lock it in.
I mean, the question is out there. You can't avoid the question.
I like Pokemon, man.
Ooh,
I mean, who didn't dream about living in the world of Pokemon growing up?
Or being the very best?
Yeah, who didn't want to be the very best? Very clear. No one ever was, man.
My Pokemon world would be different from the Detective Pikachu because those Pokemon are ugly as fuck.
Right. So. Well, yeah, it's like
that was a fun movie though.
It was
good. It was surprisingly good.
That's another thing. Like you think about it, you're like, wait a second. So if I'm in this world, am I in like an anime version of this world? Like, is everything cartoony, or am I going to see Detective Pikachu?
Cool. So, I'd have to have Brock with me so he could cook for me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Makes more sense.
See, well, I'd have to have Misty with me for obvious reasons. But I'm just kidding.
What reasons would that be, Dan?
It's like it's obviously Officer Jenny, but that's cool. But listen, all like my favorite games are just kind of like worlds that I wouldn't want to be in unless if I'm the hero. So if I'm the hero, then Final Fantasy VII. That's where I want to be, on the world of Gaia. And then if it's Jack and Daxter, then I better be Jack. You know what I mean? That's where I would want to be.
You're going to be the peasant in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. What if I'm like the freaking thing that he jumps on? Like, I don't want to be, or like uppercuts. That's not me. I don't want to be there. But if you're in Pokemon, anybody can be the best. As long as you're willing to be the best friend, you know, like if you're willing to, like, in a world you must defend, you know, like.
This is getting you all emotional.
It is, dude. Like, anybody can be a Pokemon master if you put your heart to it. And like, I think that's because they're out there in the wild and you can go out there and you can get them. So
as long as you believe. 20 years to win a tournament.
Yeah, but don't you got to buy Pokeballs? What if you can't afford a Pokeball?
Bruh. Like,
you just pimp yourself out.
I mean, you find that stuff. Do you beat this trainers like as you walk by them? Like, they're like, "Hey, you want to battle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And then I beat them and take their money. And
is that how it works?
I think so. Like, don't you get money after everybody?
But you got to get Pokeballs in order to catch Pokemon.
True, dude. Oak is going to give you a Pokemon to start with. Or
what if Professor Oak never? What if he never calls?
God, dude, so.
Steven, we're getting too deep here.
This is why I can't choose. This is why I can't choose, Steven.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know.
Like, what if you're just a cabbage farmer?
Yeah, dude. What if you can't afford your car? What if you're driving around in a freaking, I don't know, Prius?
A bicycle.
Yeah, like your bicycle at Forza Horizon, whatever, dude. That's my thing, man. Whenever somebody's like, "Hey, dude, here's a really like deep question," I'm like, "No, you're gonna give me a week." Somebody asked me, like, "Dude, what's your top 5 Disney songs?" I was like, "I can't answer that right now, man. You give me some time." You know what I mean? Because I feel like everything I say is definitive. You know. Say it.
That's the thing with top 5s, though. They can change and evolve over time.
Yeah.
Honestly, like my top 5. Which we'll probably end up doing next year. Yep. What we're going to do next is the top 5 consoles, console designs. And my top 5 has been constantly changing all the way up until this moment. So, yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and put a bow on this one. Thank you so much for tuning in if you are tuning in or if you're watching this on YouTube, that's awesome. You can also listen to it on Spotify, Apple, all the podcast services, just like Google as well. It's everywhere.
Apple.
We're everywhere. If you're looking for us, it's pretty much all the social medias.com/Game Night Hype, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, Twitch, everything. It's .com/Game9Hype. Thank you so much for watching this podcast, and we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it up here. Bye, guys. Let's go ahead and put this. Guys. You know what? Why not? Let's put that.
Bye. Boop, beep, boop, boop, boop.
We're gonna do it again. It's so good.
Daddy like.